You're welcome. You're welcome, Your Excellency. This particular moment, let me ask Haji Elisa Sedonga to say a few words.
Bantu abamu oli bwaba Muganda alutalo alutandikira Uganda. Omunyankole atwala Munyankole. Omucholi mwacholi. N'abalala kyenjagala okubuulira abazzukulu nti gwe wajja n'emmundu 27 nga eno teriyo wa kika kyo. N'otandika kutendeka abaana baffe abaali balima emboga ne lumonde n'ojjamu ejje erikuumya Uganda emyaka 34. Twali tulowooza nti omanyi kulwana na mmundu kyokka naye jjo lyabalamu. Palamenti bwe yakyusa akatundu 120 twamanya nti ne mu byobufuzi oli kafulu. tetuyinza kukyusa kapiteni waffe atuwangulira ne tuleeta omulala. Wano wenjagala okutegeereza abavubuka bayusi ife tukaddiye bagamba nti emiti emitoogo egikumiza ekibira nga n'emikugu egiri. N'olwekyo mutuyigireko. Nze nagenda okwegatta ku mukama wange ono nga nina emyaka 43 kati ngenda mbidde sekulu ya 8. N'olwekyo sikyukangako ate sikyukakyukanga nammwe munywerere wakuga bwe twanywera. Sebo wekitiibwa tukwebaza iramu okwebaza nti weebale nnyo weebale ddala oteerabiraka eno waafuuka wawo eri enkola olinayo buzaale naye eno kati omukyayi gye guli. Ate kino kyokoze olwaleero nti kinneewunyisizza kubanga tukomyewo mu nkomawo ate nga yamuggundu. Olutambula luli lwe twatambula twaliri mumagudu mu kibira olwakono ne tugenda naye lwaleero ekyasuze wano ssebo Katonda yakimanyi. Tuli twali twegega bwegezi naye mukama wange nze nkukakasa nga Katonda yembeezi waffe kimanyi nti akalulu akajja tugenda kawa. Ngamaliriza balonzi bannange n'omulamuzi omukulu mbagaza okutambula obulungi ate mukama tukwatireko tumalirize bulungi.
Banange mukubireko ku Haji Sseddunga obugalo. Your Excellency, before I wanted to introduce the ministers that are here, before I call you, we have the Minister for the Presidency, Esther Mbayo. We have the Chief Government Whip, Ruth Nankabirwa. We have Honorable Mururi Mukasa, Minister of Public Service. We have our Secretary General, Madame Justine Lumumba. We have Minister of State for Primary Education, Rosemary Seninde. We have our National Treasurer, NRM, Rosemary. We have Minister of State for Wildlife, Honorable Chiwanda. We have Deputy Secretary General, Honorable Todong. We have our newly appointed Minister of ICT, State for ICT, Honorable Guang. We have the RDC and many other officials. So, without any further ado, Your Excellency, please come and address.
The Honorable Ministers, Members of Parliament, Haji Sseddunga and the Veterans Association, the commanders of the UPDF, Namomena, Abalwanyi, and the youth. I have written a small essay which will be published explaining this event. By the time we get to Birembo, I think it will be published in a booklet so that people can understand. A conflict is divided into 4 levels. There is the war
when we say a war or Rutaro. War means the conflict from A to Z, from beginning to end. And when you read the history, you will hear of the wars, Second World War, First World War. For us here, the one we are talking about is the Second War of Resistance. Because there was the first one, the one against Idi Amin, 71 to 79. But this one was the second one, from 1981 to 86. So the war from A to Z, that's a war. Ichutikita, Orutaro. Abanyankole have another word, Oweme. Oweme. Then within the war, you have campaign. Campaign means like choose on Uganda kawefube. Wanga bwembamurwana ebisere ebimu mbana mbamuna kukola ekimulina okukola ekinabatuusa ku ddaala eddala. So in English they call it a campaign. We can see how to translate them into the local languages. Then there is operation. Within the campaigns, you get operations. And then you get battle, the word battle. Battle is one fighting. So the words are four: war, campaign, operation, and battle. Now, in our Second War of Resistance, we had like maybe 4 campaigns. Campaign number 1 was from Kabamba, the 6th of February, up to about 1985. That campaign, these politicians these days talk of fundraising. For us, we were gun raising. Because we didn't have guns, the first campaign had to raise guns. No other job. Look for guns, get guns, get guns. And that getting guns, we had to use some economics. Don't spend bullets if you are not going to get more bullets. You just withdraw. Because the effort that time was to get guns, because we didn't have guns. We had hope of getting guns from outside, but they never came. So we said we shall get them from here. So all the operations were to get guns, The campaign of gun raising. It took most of the time. And when you read that booklet, you will see. Now, then after we had raised after this operation, the one we are talking about now, we had another campaign, the second one, which was to open the second front. Because for almost 4 years, we had been fighting all around here. But in 1985, we opened the second front in the Rwenzori. So that was the second campaign. The third campaign was 85, when we went to the west and we expanded. We expanded by recruitment. That campaign of expanding the numbers through the big recruitment, which we carried out in 1985, which raised the numbers from 4,000 to about 20,000. And in the expansion, we combined recruiting, but also integrating the other groups, including the UNRA. So that's the third campaign. Now the fourth one was the attack on Kampala, which started on the 17th of January. So these were the four campaigns, but within the campaigns, there were many operations. The operation against Masindi and many battles, operations leading to battles. You go for an operation, like when we go to attack Masindi, this was an operation, but there were battles within that operation. The attack on Masindi itself, the battles we had with the UNRA when they were trying to ambush us when we were coming back, those were battles within the operation. Now, this particular operation, where the aim was to attack Kabamba, the walk we are going to walk up to Birembo, but that's part of the story, it's not the whole story. The real story is that we went from here and ended up attacking Kabamba on the New Year's Day of 1985. When some of you were in Kampala with Christmas and so on, for us we were busy doing something else. Now, we had come here. Actually, we were planning to attack around November, to attack Kabamba. From far, we were going to start from Ngoma, far away from here. But around, I think it was August or thereabout, or October, I don't remember, one of our people came from Nairobi, Katabarwa, and said that he had got in touch with the UPCs. They had approached him. He was staying in Nairobi. So he came with Kategaya, with Ivan Koreta. They came and they found us deep in Ngoma there, Kanyara. And they told us that the UPC, through somebody called Namiti, Kagata Namiti, had contacted them for peace talks, that they wanted to end the war, to have talks. We were doing very well at that time. We had attacked Masindi in February. We had attacked Hoima in June. And we were doing well. And we are now going to attack Kabamba. But now Katabaro says the UPC have approached us for talks. And he would like permission to go and talk with them in Kampala. I said, but why do you talk with them in Kampala? Why don't you talk with them in Nairobi or somewhere else? But Katabaro was so confident of his friend, because they had trained together with this Kagata Namiti. He said, no, they can't do me any harm. I'm sure they... Sure. But even me, although I tried to discourage him, at the back of my mind, I also saw that anybody who is clever would not kill a messenger. Because even if you kill the messenger, the ones who sent him are there. So what help does it help you? So that's why, after a little bit of pressure, I agreed that Katabarwa comes from the Rukora there where we were, Ngoma, with Charagonza, they go through here, they go to Kampala, talk with Mwanga, because Paulo Mwanga is the one who wanted to talk with them, and Basili Okero. Now, to make it easy, that's how I said, okay. Of course, I didn't tell Katabarwa this. The plan was in my head with a few commanders of attacking Kabamba. So I said, let's postpone the attack on Kabamba. Let's now move to Galamba. That's how we came to Galamba. That's how the Galamba comes. Let's move to Galamba so that we are near Kampala. So that in the case of the peace talks, then communication is easy. That's how we came here. Otherwise, we had no plan of coming here. The plan was to go from there to attack Kabamba. So we came here, arrived at one place on the other side, and waited for Katawalo to come back. He didn't come back. Instead, on the 10th of December, I remember a few dates. Instead, on the 10th of December, 1984, the UNLA came and attacked us in the other camp. Not this one. There's another one. They attacked us, we repulsed them. And after a day or so, I said, no, let's shift to a new one. So we shifted to this one here. The one in the forest below. And stayed there for some days. Now, one morning, Chargonza turns up and says Katabalwa has been killed by his allies who were talking with him. They had killed him in Kampala. Idiots. You can see how stupid they are. When you hear them talking, you don't think they have any sense in their head. You kill a messenger, so what? Because it's one person, the people who sent him are there, they will settle accounts with you. So then I said, okay, since Katawari is dead now, we now go for our mission. Now, the following day, before we moved, we were attacked now here. Attacked in the forest, but we repulsed these people, as usual. Now, but instead of going away, they came and camped here. That's how I knew that there was a small school, two classrooms. But we call this Galamba. There was like a 2-classroom grass thatched or something like that. Akasumira kali wano kali kachikachi. Ne classroom zali meka bili. Satu. So they camped here. They couldn't enter our camp, but they didn't go away. So they stayed, they camped here. Now I decided that no, I'm not going to keep wasting ammunition. But we lost some boys here. There was one boy whom I remember very well, the tall brown boy, Sari. Sari, why are the man? I remember him, he died here. Now, so I decided that no. So in the night, we pulled out. And by morning, we were very far in the Masurita area, because we went through the Masurita. I don't know where we're going to go through now. Kangavi. No, but that time we passed Bale, you know Bale? Bale, then we went, Kabale, yes. Ne Bale, what do you Bale? Bale, one one, it's why this chapter, then we went through Rutabaima, then through Chajinja, Karege, and I think we ended up in Kufu on the first day. Then I think we shifted to Sebuguzi, but I remember Sebuguzi now for some reason. So we stayed at Sebuguzi and prepared now for the long journey to Kabamba. And we left Sebuguzi on the 22nd of December. We crossed River Mayanja. the group was very big, 1,500. Crossing took a lot of time because we started because Mayanja was full. And it has got like 3 or 4 channels. You cross one channel, then you go to another. Then we started crossing at about 2 in the afternoon, but we never finished until 2 a.m. in the morning. Now we crossed Koima Road at Mate. It was still dark that time. But by the time we go, because the plan was to go and be in Chamsusi before dark, before morning. But because of the delay of crossing, by morning we were in a place called Kiriocha. Kiriocha is in the Mtiana area. And the people saw us, the population. They saw us. Then even one of our people was captured by the UPCs, one of our boys. He got tired and he was captured, I think. So the UPC now knew that we were going somewhere. And the boy who was captured also said, these people are going somewhere. So, but we got to Chamsusi on the 23rd of December. Now, when we go there, that's when I decided now to confuse the enemy. I divided the force into 2. 700, all armed, went with Sare, and some of the people were here. I said, you go by night, because the UPC now know that we are going somewhere, but they don't know exactly where. So what we need is to confuse them. You fellows, 700 of you, go by night and do what we are supposed to do. The 800, I stayed with them, and we moved back in daylight. We moved back, crossed near Bukomero. There were better soldiers at Bukomero. They saw us. Went back to Kamugabo. I think we spent the night at Kamugabo. Bugabo. Is it Bugabo? Kamugabo. There is Kamugabo there. Kamugabo and Kayonza? Yes, Kamugabo. There are 2 there, Kamugabo, Kayonza. Then we went to Kembogo, and on the 28th of December, the NRA from Bukomero came to attack us because our track was clear, our scene was very, very clear. And we were doing it deliberately so that they follow us. So they came and attacked us on the, I remained with Kashirinji. Ahmed Kashirinji was the one. Oh, Kashirinji is here. They came and attacked us on the 28th of December. We repulsed them. So the plan was working well because the enemy was not sure. The big enemy who passed here, maybe these are the ones. They thought we were the only ones. Because they came, we attacked them, and they saw we were strong. And then we moved. I think we must have moved on the 29th, I don't remember exactly, to a place called Kagari. Kagari is Dr. Sebriba's farm. Dr. Sebriba's farm. That is up there. Duaniro. It's beyond, towards those, no, Kagari, Kakinzi. Kakinzi, those places. And we camped there. Now, we had a way of knowing what was happening. We always listened to the radio of UNRA, the military radio. We were always listening. They were our biggest informers. So, at 2 p.m. on the 1st of January, 1985, a UNLS ignorer, radio person, sent a message from, I think it was from Mubende, saying that Kabamba has been attacked this morning, it has been overrun, the enemy is still there. We have tried to counterattack, but they have repulsed us. So we knew that the operation had succeeded. And I called the meeting and I said, we can't move now, it's late, let's move tomorrow morning. So that is the story. So now this force, which was 40% armed, with people who are not armed, whom we used to call commandos, we now moved on the 2nd, started moving towards, to meet Sare now. And Sare now was walking back through Chaka, instead of coming back through the east, like Wamara and those areas, Madu, he now went through Chejegwa side, Fort Porto, and he came fighting. Muzizi later. Hapuyo, those areas, Chejegwa, Hapuyo. So that's how we linked up eventually at Birembo on the 9th of January, 1985. Now, when we linked up, they had camped in a valley near the river. But when I say I didn't like the site, because you see the big problem we had now was the luggage, because they had captured a lot of equipment. The question was that how can we make sure that we don't drop this luggage? The Nyoro is it's like here, very thick bush, very thick. If somebody blocks you on the roads, you can get a lot of problems. So that's why I said, no, let's remain in the valley is dangerous. If the enemy takes control of the junctions, the high ground of Birembo Primary School, where we are going, it can be a problem. Let's move out and camp around the school. That's how we moved out on the 10th of January, moved to camp at Birembo Primary School, cook, eat, and start moving back. But when we were still cooking at 10 o'clock, then they attacked us. So we fought for the whole day. We lost from 3 boys there immediately, and then later on another 2 died. But we repulsed them. And in the night, we moved out with all our luggage and continued our journey. So that is the story of this operation. There are other operations, but this one. So in the future, you, the Basque, they will have to write for you the different operations. Masindi, the one of Hoima, the one of going to Fort Porto, to the west, to the Renzori. So all those should be written so that you, this year we are remembering this one, but next year you may decide to remember, after 2 years you may decide to remember something else, so that you keep educating our people, like the Masindi battle, moving from Kanyara through River Mayanja, through Kafu, Masindi, and back. That's very interesting. So that is the story. That is the history of why we are here. Bwana naba bili biruddewo kwe kuyita bano abasirikale. Ne mbagamba tumusooke muweereze amaka ag'abalwanyi. Mugawe emwanyi, mugawe ente, n'ebirala embizi, n'ebirala ebyokutandikirako. Ne bamala emyaka ng'ebiri bakola ku maka ag'abalwanyi bokka. Omulwanyi yaani eyatuweereza ekibira nga kino ekyawano oba kino ekyawano kyali kyani ekibera kino kyali kyani ani yali yatwadde ekibera kino okay nali manyi oli mama omweru nalongo masala masala kyali nyandiso kati ekiri mu ddiiro kiri nti lindako ekiri mu ddiiro kiri nti abasirikale wansi wa General Sale baali bakugabira amaka g'abalwanyi bonna ab'ebiti biri byemenye if they had land, how do you say it in Uganda? Bweba balina ekibanja oba ettaka okubawa ebyokukozesa. Kati bano bagamba nti bo baasubwa so nga balina ebibanja naye bababuuka. Kati ngenda kubawandiika bonna bwenamala olugendo ngenda kubayita nfune bwino. Kati bwe twamala ekyo muwulirize nno tulina okutambula.
Listen.
Bwe twamala ekyo General Sele bwe yangamba nti abalwanyi tubamaze nengamba nti kale mutandike bali abalala abajja luvannyuma abatali naffe nabo mubagabire. Naye oluvannyuma nategeeramu ekizibu namba emu. Ekizibu ekinategeera kyali ewange ekikandwa ekyekufu ekyebulemezi. Gali amaka gaffe omwenda abaatemulwa Bazili Okero ennaku z'omwezi mwenda ogw'omukaaga. Nawulira nti beemulugunya ne mbayita nti mwemulugunya ki kubanga twasindika abasirikale babowe ebyokukozesa. Ne bagamba nti twatusobola kufuna ebyokukozesa kubanga nayini taka yatugoba mu kibanja, yatugoba mu bibanja. Nti nayini taka yani nti Kaddu omulwanyi munaffe Kaddu mbu yagoba bali abalala abaafa na muganda we Lutamaguzi yabagoba ku bibanja. Kisoboka kitya kubanga ekyo twakiteeka mu mateeka nti ow'ekibanja talina kugobebwa. Kati awo olaba awo ekizibu nakyo kiri ku ludda lwammwe. Twabakwasa emundu naye okugikuba temumanyi kugikuba. Emundu y'akalulu y'obukulembeze obwo bunafu buli eno kubanga nze ndi wala. Olaba n'omusajja waffe sinabulya bawa Maama Richard yatweleza ekibira kyekufu. Nagenda namusanga mu training center mbu bamugoba mu kibanja. Ani yakugobamu? Yasinzira ku biragiro ki? Kubanga ebiragiro bya Uganda bitwayisa mu ssemateeka tibikkiriza ow'ekibanja okugobebwa. Kati awo mulaba nammwe emundu mugirina naye temumanyi kugikuba. Ngenda kugikuba. naye ffe abaganda b'eruwero tulina olugero lwaffe olugamba nti ekitata muyima ekimumalako nte kasa NRM ekyaliwo wadde mulina emundu naye temumanyi kuzikuba emundu muzituddeko omulabe n'abagoba mu bibanja nemusirika nemunyiigira Museveni ati Museveni ali ku mirimu mirala kubanga bwe nava wano nabalekera gavumenti eyammwe nimwerondera LC3 nimwerondera kansela nimwerondera LC5 chairman owa district nimuteekako omubaka muteekako omukyala abo bonna nze ningenda okulwana nekonyi ningenda mubakolomojjo muwano bibalemye abawano abantu bakaaba kati nange nzize kubanenya era Katonda nkoze bulungi okumpangaza nenkomawo netuyomba nenyomba namwe kubanga namwe mukongora Katonda ababeere katutambule.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.